Okay, so this one, I'm trying to get like as many like long timers or as many like different. So this one is going to be for 10 minutes. I'm trying to get like as many in as I can for different time ranges because I know not all activities can really accomplish much with just 2 minutes. So this one's gonna be 10 minutes and I'm going to talk about some terrible dates that I've had in the past. I've had some bad ones. Okay, so I'm gonna start the timer and I'll remind you at every minute where we're at so you know how much longer you have to go. Okay, so we are starting now. The first date I will talk about happened when I was in high school. I just started online dating because I'm terrible in life, like real life interactions. So I figured maybe if like I talk to somebody online, it'll be easier, and then when we meet up, it'll be better. It was not. So this guy told me over text that if everything went well, I would be his second kiss ever. And I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I feel like that's not something that needed to be said, but okay. And he didn't have a car, so I had to go pick him up, which was fine. I mean, we were young, it's understandable. So I went to go pick him up and he took me to Olive Garden. It was very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. He didn't really talk a lot at all, and I just kept having to like ask him questions, and then he'd answer the question and then just kind of like shut up. Okay, so we're at 1 minute, so we have 9 minutes left. He told me that he doesn't like music at all. At all. And I said, at all? You don't like music at all? And he said no. But he did tell me that he prefers the sound of nature. Why? Because he believes that he was a wolf in the past life. Okay, I feel like that's okay if you believe that, but I don't think that's first date material. I was very weirded out. And then he told me that he used to live in a den in the woods when he was like a couple years ago or something, I don't know. And we had breadsticks, you know, because Olive Garden has breadsticks, like the unlimited breadsticks. We got breadsticks. I only had one because he wolfed the rest down. Okay, we are at 2 minutes now. 2 minutes and you have 8 minutes left. Oh my God, I love that joke. I know it's terrible, but, and then, so that was really weird and very uncomfortable. And I can get on board with the fact that you believe that you were a wolf in the past life, but the way he said it and like all these little details about him like not liking music and he prefers the sound of nature, living in a den, like that was just too much for me. It was sounding very much like a feral child type situation that I did not want to be part of. Then after the date, if you remember, if everything goes well, I was supposed to get a second kiss. I did not want to kiss, or not a second kiss, but his second kiss. I didn't want to kiss, but I expected one because I felt like I did everything right on my part. Like I thought I was a good date. So I dropped him off and he literally like ran out of the car and said goodbye, and like that was it. So I didn't get my kiss. So I guess that he thought that it wasn't a good date, which upset me because again, I thought I did everything right. Okay, we're at 3 minutes. So you have 7 minutes left. And then we didn't talk afterwards. But he texted me, or no, I'm sorry, he texted me the night of, and he asked me if I had any single friends that I could share their numbers with him. Yeah, and then he texted me like 2 weeks later to let me know that he had found a girlfriend and he wasn't interested in dating me anymore. But we were not dating. I was not talking to him anymore. It was very uncomfortable, and at the time I didn't have a boyfriend, so I lied and I told him that I had a boyfriend too because I didn't want Wolf Boy to have somebody before I did. Okay, jeez. Okay, all right, so another one that I had, I'm gonna give this guy credit because he seemed very nice, but he made me extremely uncomfortable. I had bought tickets to go see my friend's ballet, and I was super excited because okay, we're at 4 minutes now, so you have 6 minutes left. I was really excited for this ballet because my friend was a part of it, and I knew that she did ballet, but I'd never seen her perform. I bought 2 tickets, which were $40, which was a lot of money for me in high school because I didn't have a job. And I invited him to go along with me, and he said, oh yeah, sure. Like, I know exactly where that's at because my sister used to do recitals there. Yeah, of course. So he asked me if I wanted to go to get ice cream before, and I said, sure, that's fine. So we went to go get ice cream, and oh my gosh, no, I forgot the worst part. He told me that he was 5'7", right? I'm 5'5". I don't have a problem with dating men that are shorter, but he told me he was 5'7". My mother is 5'5". He came into my house to introduce himself to me, like when we first met, and to my mom. My mom at 5'5", his head was in her chest. Like, right? That's not 5'7". That's not 5'7", that's a lie. And we're at 5 minutes now, so you have 5 minutes left. It was so embarrassing. And my mom made fun of me after the date because, and she just kept, it was just, imagine going on a date with somebody that you know his head was just like deep in your mother's bosom. Jesus, it was too much for me. Anyway, so he told me where this place was at. After we went to go get ice cream, he told me that we were gonna go, and then he kept driving around, and he was like, I thought it was right here, but I don't really know where it's at. And then he couldn't get maps on his phone, or maybe we were like, I don't know what was going on, but we were an hour late, and he never even found the place. And then he just decided to drive me home. And then on the way home, he started going on and on about how beautiful mixed race people are. I'm biracial. And he was just going on about how beautiful we are and how we have perfect eyebrows and perfect skin tone. And it was so gross, I hated it. We're at 6 minutes now, you have 4 minutes left. Because the thing is, even if you think that biracial people are the most beautiful people ever and they have the best skin tone, my skin tone changes like 5 times a year. Like, I go from pale to very, very dark. Like, there is no one set skin tone for biracial people. Like, that doesn't make sense. And also, I don't want to be fetishized. It's weird. So he was going on and on about how perfect my eyebrows were and all this stuff. And then he missed the street from my house, and I thought he was gonna kidnap me. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. So that was the end of that one. I did not go on a date with him again. I did not want to hear about how much he loved mixed people. It's just weird. Ugh. So now we're almost at 7 minutes. I'm trying to think of another date to tell you guys about. So we're at 7 minutes now, and we have 3 more minutes left. 3 more minutes left. Oh my gosh. I don't know if any of my other dates are appropriate to share. I did have one guy. Oh my gosh, he was very cute, and I liked him a lot. I had a crush on him, and he asked me one night, just randomly, it wasn't planned, if I wanted to go out to dinner with him, and I said, sure, yeah. And he worked next to where I worked, so I just walked over and he drove me, or he was supposed to drive me to the restaurant. He asked me like 3 times if I needed to change before I went on the date, but I worked at like a retail shop. I could wear whatever I wanted, and I made sure that I was dressed cute for the date before I went into work. So like, I was already ready, and I thought I already looked cute, but he kept saying, are you sure you don't want to go back and change and like freshen up? And I was like, no, I'm fine. But then he told me, it's 8 minutes now, so we have 2 minutes left. Then he told me that he had eaten 36 rolls of sushi. And I thought a roll of sushi was like several individual pieces. So I don't think he actually ate 36 rolls. I think he ate 36 pieces of sushi. And he told me he didn't feel good. And he also didn't know where I wanted to go to eat. So I used to have this board of like all these restaurants in St. Louis to like pick one if I ever had problems finding a restaurant. So I told him we could go back to my place and pick a place. So he's like, okay, so he drove me there. And before I even got out of the car to go inside to pick a place, he told me that he was sick and that he needed to leave because he felt like he was gonna throw up from all the sushi. Yep. So then I went home and I thought this was like the weirdest date ever. Like, but it was our first time meeting. Maybe I didn't match up with my photos online. Maybe he like didn't like how I looked or how I talked. Like, I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to get out of it, right? Okay, we're at 9 minutes now. We have 1 minute left. Yeah, that's what I would have thought, that he was trying to get out of it. But then he asked me on a second date, which that one was like, okay, I guess. And I think we went on a third date because I think he asked me to like go shopping with him to figure out a gift for his aunt, which I don't know his aunt. I think she just thought because I was a woman, I was better at shopping. I don't know. And then we went out to dinner another time. And they went okay. Like, we obviously weren't the best match, but I don't know why. It was just so weird, especially after that first one that he was just like, I can't do this. And who eats 36 pieces of sushi? I don't get that. That's too much sushi. I don't really like sushi, so I'm a little biased, but I don't know. So yeah, that's all of my, well, that's not all of the terrible dates that I've had, but that's some of the top ones. And we are at 10 minutes now. So I hope that you enjoyed that. If not, I'm so sorry. I always tell myself that if it's a bad date, at least it makes a good story. So if it did not make a good story for you guys, then it was worth nothing. And I regret ever having gone on the dates. So yeah, I hope you accomplished whatever you did. And if you guys have any terrible dates that you want to share, feel free to comment them below.